Shalom, Yasharallah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and infinite praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Chachadash. Double honors to the beloved elders and the apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful like came out there laboring that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp. And I'm doing this lesson, just based on a couple articles that have been floating around and being shared among brothers. Of just another endless grocery list and of receipts of Esau's wickedness against our people. And this is a couple of countless examples of the pure hatred that Esau Edom has for us. And I'm going to get this scripture first, Salakia. But this is Psalm 73 and 5, and this is the first scripture that came to my mind after reading these. And, I wanted to put a lesson together, Lord willing, it's edifying. But this is Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covereth them as a garment. It's talking about the bloody man Esau Edom. Salakia. And this article reads, he spent 20 years in prison for his wife's murder until she was found in the neighbor's basement. And that title alone is just, gut-wrenching. And understanding how bad the Lord can get you and why it's so important to fear Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, because this is it hurts, man, to know that our people have to live under these circumstances in the hand of our enemies. And this is just, like I said, one of many examples to show you why we need deliverance out of this place. I'm going to read a little bit of this article, but this is Chicago 2000. Marcus Holloway, a young husband and father, came home from his night shift to find his wife Sarah missing. He called the police, desperate, terrified, but from the start, the suspicion turned on him. Obviously, like the joke is, if you're a black man and you live in a nice home, don't call the cops, because they're going to think you're robbing the place and they're going to end up shooting your ass, man. And in this case, that's exactly what happened, minus the getting shot. They took his life away by throwing him in a cage for 20 years. But this is continuing. The evidence, a neighbor's testimony claiming he heard an argument and Sarah's keys and wallet conveniently discovered in Marcus's toolbox, which means he was set up by his wicked-ass neighbor. Convicted on circumstantial evidence, Marcus was sent away for 20 years, branded a killer, abandoned by the world, and even by his own children, who grew up believing that their father had murdered their mother. Then, in 2021, a simple wellness check on that same quiet, helpful neighbor changed everything. Police found a soundproof door hidden behind a storage shelf in his basement. What they discovered inside shattered their assumption. Sarah Holloway, alive, malnourished, but breathing, and she had been there trapped just 50 feet from her home for 2 decades. Man, and you just hearing that, know that, man, that is like one of the worst horror stories that you can think of, man. And not to mention, that's a long list of things that Esau Edom has done to us as a people. And this is just what's recorded. Imagine the things that we still don't know to this day, or that's been watered down through what happened in slavery, chattel slavery, ever since the conquest of the Americas, obviously starting in 1492. But this is, just highlighting the point of why this man needs to be put down. For someone to do that, obviously, this is not just a one case scenario, because there's been many situations of Edomites getting little Judites in Southern Kingdom, babies locked up. There was a story not too long ago, I want to say it was this year, that came out of a bunch of foster parents that had literally Judite babies chained up, had little kids chained up doing different things, man, and you already know what they were doing to them, man. They were doing the worst, and ultimately, just keeping them alive, but barely. And really, I bet those people wish that they were dead, more than the torture that they had to endure. But this is Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And that is ultimately because this man, after 1,000 years of slavery in the kingdom of heaven, is going to be put down, destroyed, and thrown into that pit to burn. So, that is just gut-wrenching in itself. And there's another video the brother had sent me as well. And I'm not going to probably play the whole thing. I just want to play the first couple minutes because I don't want this video to get flagged. But what you're seeing here is Las Vegas police released body camera video of a road rage shooting that killed unalived an 11-year-old. And this is going into seeing how the officer really just didn't care about the father, which ended up being his stepfather, cry for help. And you have this Edomite right in front of him literally admitting what he's doing, and there was no sense of urgency. No ambulance called immediately, no wellness check on the 11-year-old, no nothing, man. So I'm going to play just a little bit of this video, and then I'm going to get back to the scriptures.
He's dead?
Yeah, look.
Why?
I shot at him, bro. I didn't know.
Shot at him?
I didn't know I was fucking kicked in the back. And I showed
Real medical.
I fucking
Came out of unit. Hang on.
We were road raging. He came up around the side, like on the merge, where what's the one that takes you northbound, eastbound over there?
Where's he going at right now?
He's in the car on the passenger side.
Come over here. I gotta figure everything out.
Yeah, no, it's 100%
Happened.
I shot at him, dude.
Okay.
I didn't even know you had a kid in the car and stuff.
You got stay in control? There's a kid shot in the back seat. Notify supervisors and stuff. Thanks, bro. I'm so sorry. Do you have the ID? Okay. Just.
I'm going to school.
Take a minute when you get a chance. I'll need your ID.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. Okay, we'll get this all taken care of.
Is there any chance that the kid will be okay?
There's always a chance. I don't know. I've seen, after 20 years, I've seen kind of everything happen. So I won't say it's not possible. I won't say anything could happen. If you're a praying man, I would be praying a lot for him right now.
If you're a praying man, I will be.
You're killing your kid?
This is Romans 3:15. Their feet are swift to shed blood. Point blank, period. Any excuse for Esau to use his blessing, his sword, he's going to use it. Just like not too long ago, there was that, I believe it was Guatemalan house cleaner that went to go knock on a door, but she ended up just putting her key inside the keyhole, wiggling the doorbell, and the man shot her in the head through the door. All because she got a wrong address and was just showed up in a maid outfit with a cleaning bucket full of cleaning supplies, and he shot her through the door. So Esau thinks that he has the right to do that based on historically how his people have a pattern of getting away from the justice system, so-called, because they know that the justice system is in their favor. And as this story continues, I wouldn't even be surprised if this man gets off with self-defense, because they'll play some video and say that it was a road rage. He'll get off with, let's say, a manslaughter. He'll be convicted of 7 years. He'll maybe do 2. And then he's out free. But that boy and, that family is never going to see their loved one again. And we do know, I have to add this, whoever perished being innocent, because this is judgment on, going back to the beginning of the first article that I showed you, the Judite, that wife, his kids, that whole family that got torn apart. And that's hard to say, but that is the Lord's judgment. And is as much as, from I guess you could say a regular person's point of view, there should be no point that should even happen. But that's how the Lord had it written for those people's judgments, for everybody involved. And that's why it's so crucial to move with wisdom behind enemy lines. We are captives. We are prisoners. We have no sovereignty. And so Esau, Edom can use the law against you. as you can see, the northern kingdom is being persecuted heavy right now, and there's no one to save us, which is going back into the curses of having no might in our hand. This is Salaki, I'm getting a little sick, but this is Psalms 59:2. Deliver me from the workers of iniquity and save me from bloody men. Because let me tell you what, when the lights go out, when the law and order, when the chaos happens, let's say hypothetically an EMP goes off, man, Esau Edom is going to be running and gunning for you, Jakes. When there's no repercussions for what he does, when the lights are out, when he can catch an opportunity, when the system is broken down and there's lawlessness in the street, guess what? Jake and anything darker than a paper bag is public enemy number one in the eyes of Esau Edom. He's like, man, this is the system's down. It's our time to purge, type mindset. And we're going to see that. And this scenario multiplied all throughout Babylon the Great, because, man, let me tell you what, Esau is strapped up. He's been waiting for the opportunity to so-called defend his country and to make sure that he keeps the American way alive and true. And you're going to see when we come into the future how just violent it's going to get, man. And that's just an understatement in itself.